All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel on another very slow day in the world of classic rock. So I'm shifting gears. Don't worry. I'm still talking music. I know some of you are ready to just not watch. That's fine. It's cool, man. It's cool. But I'm going to talk about a legendary band. Yeah, who's got a brand new album out that you should probably go and check out as I do what I do in real time for a few people out here, just like you there and like me here. By the way, all these episodes are brought to you in part by this Buy Me a Coffee, which is a way like almost like a tip jar thing, except it's a coffee mug instead of a tip jar. There's a link in the description of every video I do for channel membership. You can become a member of this channel via Patreon. And then, of course, buy me a coffee. And my good buddy, PJ Rock, who hit me up with a super chat, I believe, yesterday. He's got early watching privileges. So he's a YouTube member. He's a Patreon guy. And I think he's bought me coffee. He's a generous man. So, PJ, this video is for you. All right. Figured I'd point some more. It's fun. So Petra is back, folks. The band Petra, probably the greatest Christian band in the history of Christian music. They've influenced countless souls, and they've got them all pointed in the right direction, hopefully, toward Jesus Christ. And they're back after two, not one, 2 decades away from the music business. They've got a brand new album out called Hope. We need hope. We desperately need hope. This world, with all the AI and all the craziness and all of the chaos and lawlessness and just people who don't want to cooperate with whoever because they just think they can do whatever they want to out there in the world right now. We need hope, and Petra delivers. John Schlitt, who is the lead singer. You know, if I were British, right, I could be like John Schlitt, but I'm not British, all right? So it's just John Schlitt. I always read his name and think to myself, did I just swear on the air again? I got to stop swearing. He's 75 years old. Guess what, though? He can still sing, unlike a lot of guys at 75 who are washed up. John is not, and you can hear his amazing vocal gymnastics, Superman-like singing on this brand new album called Hope. The band put out a single not too long ago, and I think I did do a video about the single. It's called Deliver Us. It's a radio single. Is it being played on the radio? Nope. It's not. Unless you're like a mom and pop Christian radio station, you guys should really play this stuff. All right. There are a few old timers like yours truly, or even people who are not old timers who would hear this and go, whoa, whoa, what's up with these vocals and guitars and drums? And it's like old school production. Yeah. People like that stuff. And by the way, it's a pretty forceful message on Deliver Us, and that might be a little countercultural with the Christian radio scene. I don't know. I mean, there's the praise and worship stuff is great. All right. We need praise and worship. Okay. In fact, Petra has done a couple of really great praise and worship albums. But sometimes you just have to tell it like it is and give them the full gospel message. But a lot of people were not expecting this. And it's weird how these guys came back after 2 decades. I think there was a lot of conviction there. They really wanted to get out there and send this message out because it needs to be sent. There aren't a lot of bands doing what Petra has done. And I'm talking about this new album. So 20 years ago is when they put out their last album. And of course, people will remember Petra from the 80s and 90s and even, I guess, into the 70s, right? A little bit, like late 70s. I know John Cooper from the band Skillet counts Petra as a major influence. And let's talk influence, right? So you got musical influence, which is a very big deal, but you've also got cultural and spiritual influence. I mean, I don't think there are any scandals associated with Petra. I don't think. Maybe, I mean, if you go back in the archives, maybe one of their members had issues with something, but I don't know. I can't remember anything. So it seems like they've been pretty faithful, right? They've been following Jesus, and we all kind of fall down, but we get back up again. These guys have just kept on going, and they believe this stuff. This is unapologetic Christian rock the way it used to be, with guitars blazing and arena style volume, which is, I think, again, something that isn't really out there. So what I don't like is agism, especially in the Christian music scene, right? A guy like Stephen Curtis Chapman right now, I think he's being aged out of the scene. It's harder and harder for him to get his songs on the radio. In recent years, Casting Crowns, who could arguably be as big as Petra as far as their influence on Christian radio and the Christian music scene, they're starting to see a decline in airplay too. So all of these quality bands that, Third Day, I know they're making a comeback tour and so forth, but they're not putting out new stuff. Maybe they'll put out new stuff this year to coincide with their reunion tour. But to me, Petra is a different breed. It's like its own category. There's nobody who did what Petra did. Now, there were a lot of bands that came along who were inspired by Petra, who did great things in the 1980s on the Christian music scene. I'm still discovering a lot of this stuff that I missed the first time because I was listening to Journey, Foreigner, Survivor, and Cheap Trick, so I didn't pay that much attention to this stuff when it came out. But, if you have the opportunity, you can stream this album now on your favorite streaming platforms. It's called Hope. I'm hoping there will be some physical copies available because I would like to get an LP, or as some people like to call them today, a vinyl. I see you've got a vinyl. Yes, I've got a vinyl. By the way, believe it or not, this is the 50th anniversary of the touring lineup of this band. Bob Hartman is still there, still playing guitar and still writing a lot of those lyrics and those unmistakable 80s inspired keyboards. John Lawry is doing that. You've got Greg Bailey on the bass and Christian Borneo playing drums. So this is a killer lineup. This band sounds great. John Schlitt is a freak of nature. By the way, there are no gimmicks in the studio here. The band has already gone on record and said, nope, not doing it. Not doing the auto-tune. Not doing the AI. This is full strength John Schlitt. This is not Schlitt light. Okay, this is John, I think in the old days when he was with Head East, I think he used to drink a bit. So I'm sure he's not too fond of my comparison there. But I like John. John's a good guy. And Petra, just a force of nature. I'm so happy they're still around. And maybe they're going out on tour. I don't know too much about it, but I will try to keep you in the loop about that. They've got this song called Filthy Lucre, which is a fantastic lyric because it's kind of like this old school King James thing. And I tend to like those more and more as I get older. I like words that will stick in your cranium. A lot of the modern translations are like, oh, it's bad money. No, it's filthy lucre. What's lucre? I don't know. It's filthy lucre. That's what it is. So anyway, that's one of the songs from this collection. And there are a few curveballs on this, stuff that you wouldn't expect out of the band Petra. And so that's what makes it even more interesting to listen to. So there you have it. My quick little take and review on the brand new Petra album called Hope. We need hope, folks. And our only hope, as I often say on this channel, is Jesus Christ.